know, you've had kind of a heck of a 6 months here.
Yeah, it's been
a little busy?
Yeah, from under a snowplow, it's a different view. You know, no harm, no foul, essentially. I'm gonna come back stronger.
Absolutely.
I've said it before, but it is the truth that in the recovery since the beginning of the year, almost 5 months to the date. You know, it's glorious to be full of love and titanium.
You gotta pick a new superhero.
Yeah.
You are Iron Man.
Yeah. So I couldn't be more blessed. I couldn't be happier. And it's really just my first sort of outing in a big way to be with people and around people, especially amazing fans as well. You guys are tremendous, but everything is more wonderfully sensitive in life. Coffee's stronger. Everything is just more intense since the accident. Not sure why, but it's pretty killer because everything is just that much better. And being here is one of those things.
Well, we are very, very happy to have you here. So I'm going to start out. Have you guys watched Renovations? Okay. Sort of a fun fact that I didn't know. That name wasn't your idea. Renovations.
No, the name, that was kind of kicked around when we were thinking about doing home remodeling and that sort of stuff, because we did a lot of that, me and my brother.
Yeah.
But it was more about good machines that were kind of being discarded, and so it was going to be something along that line. But they really liked the renovation thing. I'm like, fine, whatever.
Well, you got the last name Renner. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
So what started? I mean, you have literally like a huge lot of these vehicles. Why? I want to know. What started it? What was the impetus of you going, I'm gonna just have a huge lot?
It wasn't initially about making it a show, as it was, I hated seeing good things and where taxpayers' dollars went into, like a fire truck, let's say. That's $500,000 to build, some are $1 million to build, and there's a lot of them. They go to waste because, well, they're, first of all, emergency vehicles, they need to be like, can't be 25 years old or 20 years old, right? But they're still good machines. So I just went to like government garage sales, essentially, and got amazing vehicles, and then I repurposed them for the service community again in a different way. And that became now the idea, the purpose of what the show is about. And I was always geared towards kids. And why I bought my first fire truck, because I saw it on an auction when I was there for like a skid steer or something for construction. And I'm like, what is this thing? And I'm like, so I bought it. I didn't know why. When I drove it home, like a little kid, I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm driving a fire truck. This is insane.
So there wasn't really...
I drove up, my daughter was home. I'm putting on the lights and things. She's like, what are you doing? And I said, you know what I'm gonna do? On the ride home, it was like a 20-minute ride. And I realized I'm gonna turn this into the coolest mobile birthday party rig. It's a party bus for kids, right? And I'll put like snow machines on the side and all these other things, just to make like it's a party bus for kids, And so the thing pulls up, a jumper comes out, the whole thing. That was like such an exciting idea to me. Again, because I love kids so dang much. You have no idea. So I'd do anything for them, give them opportunities, And then it became more about the show, and I started buying like 30 fire trucks and like city buses and all these things, and people are like, what are you doing, dude? I'm like, I know, what am I doing? But I have a plan, But there's a lot of kids that deserve opportunities, deserve joy, and so many don't get those opportunities, and so I'm taking it personal. And I'm going out and doing all I can to put a smile on a kid's face.
It's an awesome show. Awesome.
Yeah,
My question is, I know you've been out and about a little bit since your accident, but I was wondering if you returned to acting since your snowplow accident.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere, man. I'm not going anywhere. My priorities have always been the same. It's been to my daughter, and whatever my daughter allows me to do. It's kind of the thing, you know. And all my agents at CA, they're all like, "What? Just ask my daughter if it's okay that Daddy goes and does this thing."
You know who's in charge.
That's right, because I'm not missing out on her 4th grade. You know what I mean? So yeah, my commitment to my work and is something that if people will allow me to do it, I'm always happy to do it. You know, Marvel wants me back in the MCU and rocking that out. I do it in a heartbeat. I love those guys. You know? So yeah, I'm going to continue work. I know I'm going back to do Mayor of Kingstown as soon as these legs are healthy. My whole body's strong enough to stand up all day long. I tried doing photos with some of you guys today, and I had to start sitting down in a chair. I realized I couldn't stand for a couple hours. So that's very telling of me in my physical health, how far I still have to work this summer to get back to filming on camera. Because those are 18-hour days, you gotta realize, right?
Long. Well, we'll take you
Totally.
sitting, we'll take you standing, we'll take you lying down.
I'm not very good sitting though, right? I'm too much.
I know.
You know, I'm a spirited human.
That's you were telling you gotta slow down a little bit.
Pain in the ass, my mom would say. But spirited, I say.
You had a forced break, you know, this season. All right.
You know, but I think it's such a really interesting film, and here's my takeaway on Arrival. Is from my personal experience, because it's the only way I can kind of answer it. It's the first piece of work I've done where I watched it at the end of the movie, like when it was edited, right before it goes out in the theater, and I was blown away like an audience member would be, and I said, "No, that's a director." Where you really see a director's touch and hand on a piece of cinema, right? You know what I mean? Filming it was one thing. I felt like I was just like in a zip-up orange suit, like looking at a white screen with Amy Adams, right? But it was so well put together, so many smart people involved, and also so wonderfully intimate and emotional. I love the film because of those things. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, after your recovery and it's all complete, what's the most exciting thing that you're ready to work on?
Stretching. I mean, it feels good to stretch. I mean, I still have to do that. And as far as work, man, work is very physical for me, you know. So I have to stretch. Man. I gotta like to put one foot in front of the other first. And then, you know, the work will come. But I like to work around the house. I like to be able to, I still can't pick up my daughter. And so I'm working towards that. I'm working to pick up my daughter.
Long-time fan. The first time I ever saw you was in The Hurt Locker. And it's become kind of a comfort movie over the years as like, something to help me get through the tough times, you know? I was just wondering, what was your motivations for that character, and what did that movie mean to you once you finished making it?
Well, that's so weighted for me, brother. Look, it's not a movie to me. It's a platform to unite soldier and civilian life, from a wife that might have been at home, and for the soldier out of war in Afghanistan, let's say. It became a wonderful tool as a bridge. Like, soldiers felt that they were witnessed and recognized, and then the people at home also felt that they had a peer into their family member's job. And it's kind of what the movie is. There's no story in The Hurt Locker. It's the lives of 3 men and how they live inside, you know, EOD. And it was a very, I saw that movie, the last 10 minutes of the movie, probably 1,000 times. I saw the movie once in its entirety. I saw it so many times the last 10 minutes because we took it to every Army base. We went and spent time with so many people in situations just like this after watching something. It became such a wonderful conversation starter. And because mind you, because that film was happening during the war. We were out right on the border of Jordan and Iraq, and that was when all this happened. Strange time, and beautiful experience with some very important people in my life, Catherine and Mark, and the boys in the film, Mackie. who was also at my bedside when I got ran over by the snowplow. God bless his
I
soul.
saw that. He's amazing.
My man. Yeah, it's a very important film. Again, another character that that now I think about it, it's like, yeah, of course, like you get ran over by a snowplow, you come out of that because there's cementing sort of belief systems in my soul, my spirit, or me getting to see it back in a Will James or Corey Lambert and Wind River, you know. It's a blessing, and I was so honored to be able to be a part of that story and learn about people's lives. And mind you, I was building bombs and taking bombs apart for a year and a half before we started filming. Not because it's fun, because that's what I needed to do to become that and do that. You know what I mean?
I wanted to ask, when you were initially pitched or offered to play the role of Hawkeye, how did they approach, like, you know, pitching it to you? And did you take it seriously, or did you think it was a joke?
I remember sitting down, it was in Manhattan Beach, it was with Kevin Feige, and this is all, I think only Iron Man had come out at that point. Or maybe I can't remember, you guys might know more than I, but what the order is it? Iron Man 1 and 2, then Thor 1, I can't remember. But whatever, Thor wasn't out yet, and I remember I was a big fan of Iron Man. Like you kind of made it plausible. Downey was so charming and all these things, like, this is actually awesome. Like, and who did not love the Iron Man movies? Like, those were fantastic, right? Yeah, so I was excited to kind of be in the conversation of like, okay, now, I don't know how you're gonna put Fabio in the air with a hammer and make that realistic. Right? I mean, that sounds, I don't know how that's gonna happen, but I think you guys can do it, right?
Fabio with the
So-
hammer. There, you heard it. There you go.
And you're,
I love that.
I'm talking way out of turn here. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's like, why am I here? Like, well, I this Hawkeye character. I'm like, yeah, I've kind of heard of it. I don't really know much about the comics, though, guys, right? So it took me a little bit. All I know I did see was like this guy, like in this purple dress and like these fins on his head. What was going on? I'm like, I can't. He's like, no, we're not doing that. You're not going to be in a dress. I'm like, okay. So they showed me like the, oh gosh, such a long time ago, what version of it? It's escaping me right now. Sorry, guys. It's a different version of it. What's more like, you know, what it is today, a little bit more of a pragmatic kind of military soldier on the ground than some guy with some sweeping
You would have rocked it though,
tassels,
man.
you know,
would've
the
been
Hawkeye
great.
towel. It's gonna get caught in the spout. So yeah, so the meeting went well. But yeah, they were showing me the interest of, you know, kind of where they were going with the future of the movies, and didn't know where it was going to end up going, and you know, kind of still don't. I don't think anybody knew back then, after 2 movies were out, it's going to take 23 to tell Endgame, right? And what a wonderful journey that was, and that's been for all of us, I think, right? That was a pretty exceptional decade.
Tell me how much you loved the city of Boston when you were filming The Town. Like, what did you love most about being there?
Why did you leave it? You live here.
Okay, long story.
I'm supposed to tell you what you're missing about
Fair
Boston?
question.
Huh?
Fair question.
Well, here's what you're missing about Boston. No, I do actually love Boston, right? I really do.
What's your favorite thing? Red
I-
Sox.
Well, I like the North End. That was nice. I loved how small it was. I love the history of the place. I love the people of the place. It had I live right on the Common, right? The Common's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful park. You know, it's like a small museum, the whole city. And like New York is too much chaos, too much distraction. There's still a lot of colleges. I don't know, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. I'd only been there to film The Town. Obviously, I don't have a Boston accent, but I had to learn, you know, very quickly. And you know, I love the pride, I love the sense of community. You know, you keep wanting me to say the Red Sox. I don't even like baseball. There, go Dodgers, go Sox, go whoever. There's too many innings. There's too many games in a week. I got shit to do. Honestly. I'm not here to bag on baseball.
Sorry,
but I do
baseball
love
fan.
Boston. I do love Boston, and
I just want to say I love you in Hurt Locker, love you in SWAT, and of course love you in Marvel. My question is, what was it like going from acting in the Avengers movies, kind of with a team of actors, to just going to Hawkeye with a dynamic duo of you and Haley Steinfeld?
Yeah, that was, well, I guess the main difference was there's more intimacy, there's more story to tell, I suppose. Haley's amazing. I've always been a big fan of hers and known her for a long time, and it was a wonderful treat to dance with her every day. And mind you, we were filming this during the height of COVID. We did that first season and the first season of Mayor during COVID. So I didn't see anybody that I guess I know I worked with them before, but everyone was masked and shielded instead of staying 20 feet away. I really just saw Haley and just, a few of the actors. That's about it. But the storytelling part of it was great. It's more intimate, a lot more for Clint to do and explore. And I had a ton of fun doing it, man. I really did. There's a lot of poking fun at things, and I love the LARPers. That was so great. I love it. It reminds me of like being at a Comic-Con, It's like, God, this is so amazing. It's such a great experience. And then the musical part of it. Got to do things that we couldn't do in the big movies, but being able to be a voice for Clint on the smaller screen was quite a treat. I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
The question is, I'm a film production student, so I was wondering, being on set, especially as an actor, can be really hard, but it can also be really fun. So what is one or some of your favorite memories from set?
I guess, it's every waking moment. I can count how many minutes I've been on a set, over the last 30 years. But every one of those minutes is equal to the next, and it's so blessed and so fortunate. Even if it's sometimes arduous and hard, and you're not getting sleep, and it's 120 degrees. It was actually 135 degrees in Jordan in a bomb suit. That was 100 pounds.
No, thank you.
It wasn't pleasant, right? But there's nothing been more affecting in my life because of that. So every minute, it's like life, It's like the suffering parts of it ends up being probably the best parts. And I'm not saying being on set is always suffering. Sometimes it's pretty luxurious and nice. You take some naps in the AC. But getting ready for your costume, let's say, on a Hawkeye set, it's pretty cool. It's easy when everyone else is struggling. 10 hours of makeup. I got a couple zippers on my boots. Yes, let's go, right? I'm like, I love my life. And then you got Vision, who's got to think Paul Bettany's going to be here tomorrow. I think he's getting in tonight. I'm trying to see him. But that sucker's like 4 in the morning. He's getting in, painted in the morning. What an awful
You get to
job
sleep
he
in,
had.
walk into the
Yeah, ask
room.
Paul
Hey,
this.
Paul.
Ask Paul the same question. Yeah. But I think I get to play make believe for a living, right? So every minute I had at work was playing make believe and fun, and through the highs and lows of it all. So I felt very blessed for that.
What is your favorite performance you've given outside of the MCU?
Outside the MCU, I think Wind River sticks out to me. I like. It's hard to pick, right? But what's close to me is Wind River. I love the town, Hurt Locker. I like the physical challenge of doing Born Legacy. It's all, and I live in Mission Impossible. So those are a lot of fun with Tom. We'll see. But again, I think I don't believe in favorites, so I like all the jobs. Feel very blessed.
Avengers Endgame is literally my favorite movie of all time. It has been since I first saw it at the premiere. My question is, what was your personal experience like shooting that movie?
I think you just kind of summed it up. I think my personal experience on that was watching it, because filming it, there's, you know, by watching it, it's so compartmentalized and there's so many different stories to tell. So I was just shooting this sort of small independent film with Scarlett, right? And when you put all these little independent films together, it becomes Endgame, right? I'm like, what, the Hulk talks now? What's going on? I'm dying laughing, like, oh, look, that Thor's fat. Oh my God, what's going on? I hope there's no spoilers. You've seen Endgame at this point, right? But like, you know, it's a surprise to most of us. I remember seeing like a little bit of a fat suit for Thor on set. And I'm like, what's going on? I can't tell you. Like, come on, dude. Can't tell you. Well, I'm not gonna tell you what's happening with me either.